There are around 3,200 people killed every day by road accidents, approximately. And among this, 382 people are killed every day in India alone. If we take these numbers into consideration, that is more than 11% of the entire accidents in the world is happening here in India. To put that number into perspective, 16 deaths per hour is what it would take to reach that number. Today on Top EVT, things not to do while driving. The things that people are doing that is the cause of most accidents, especially in India. Welcome to Top EVT. This is me, Jamie. We thank our viewer for suggesting this great topic to us. Yes, this could actually improve road safety, so we went right into it. The number one reason should not come as a surprise to anyone. It's actually using cell phone while driving. In India, people are using their cell phones while driving even though it is against the law, and in most of the world this is actually the number one cause. People even go to such length as they try to text while they are driving. It's not just limited to car users in India, it's actually the bike users also use their cell phone while driving on the roads. Driving a bike actually requires two hands, so it is really difficult. So that is, the difficulty level is really high, even more than if it were in a car. Even in a car, you can be constantly distracted in the conversation that you're having, and your reaction times could be affected with this. People take their lives into their own hands, and they are becoming a threat not just to their own lives but also to the people who are coming along with them and the people who are in the other cars. Your life is not more important than the call you're receiving. No matter how big the emergency, just stop your car in the side of the road and just answer the call that you're having. That way you don't have to worry about you yourself being in more trouble than the trouble that is coming on the phone. Drivers distracted due to cell phone use or any other distractions is the number one cause of accidents in India, and this is something that people should not do while driving. The second highest reason for accidents in India is people not observing the proper following distance to the next vehicle that they are following. So when you're driving, you have to keep at least 3 seconds of distance between the next car and you, so that if the car ahead of you is in some kind of a trouble and it slams on its brakes, you should have enough time to react and put your brakes on and not hit the next vehicle. People are always tailgating and not following the proper distance that they have to take between these vehicles. This is the second highest reason for cause of accidents in India and also in most parts of the world. To know if you are having the proper distance between the next vehicle, just look at any tree or anything at the side of the road. If the thing is crossing the first vehicle and reaching your vehicle before you can count 1, 2, 3, then that means that you're not having 3-second gap between you and the next vehicle. The optimum distance is 3 seconds. In rain, you are supposed to keep a longer distance. Snow, you're supposed to keep at least 7 seconds distance between the next vehicle, and so on. So it changes according to the weather, but if it is a really pleasant weather, you're driving on really good surfaces, 3 seconds is optimum. Try to keep more than that. The third highest reason for accidents in India is drunk driving. There are laws against drunk driving and there are really hefty fines for drunk driving, but people still do this and it causes a lot of accidents on the roads of India. Everyone likes to party, everyone has to have their enjoyment, but do not take your own life as well as your colleagues and your friends and the people who are on the roads. Do not take their lives as well for your enjoyment. Take a cab, park your car somewhere, take a cab and go home and retrieve your car the next day. Or if you have a friend, try to get him to drive if he is sober. Do whatever you have to do, but avoid driving your car when drunk. The next biggest reason, that is the fourth biggest reason for accidents in India is improper use of high beams and low beams. And this happens especially during the night, obviously. Many people don't switch their beams according to the need. Even on well-lit highways, they will only use their high beams. Many people just get into their cars and they are only using high beam. Never do they lower their beam even when opposite there is a car coming. This is just inviting a lot of trouble, especially if you have new cars. They have really high intensity xenon headlamps, and these headlamps can actually blind the drivers ahead. Most of the times these headlights are never properly adjusted, so you will find them really shooting the beam onto the next driver who is coming up opposite to you. This is one of the highest reasons for accidents in the night. Drunk driving and improper beam usage is the highest reason for accidents in the night. After that comes tired driving and sleeping while driving. So this is a big problem that we are having. So let's all of us take measures that we don't do such kind of things ever. The fifth reason is speeding and reckless driving. We have many speed limits at many places. Highways have speed limits and internal roads have their own speed limits, but nobody follows these speed limits. Everyone is trying to go over the speed as much as they can. This, coupled with reckless driving and rage driving, causes a lot of problem. Driving is something that should be done very patiently, and you shouldn't be in a rage and reckless driving to cause accidents. People forget this and they are not looking at the privilege of driving, but they are just looking at the negative sides and taking out their negativity while driving. This is a bad practice, and this is also one of the reasons why you have so many accidents here. The sixth biggest reason for accidents in India is unsafe lane changes and not indicating. So not using indicators is causing a lot of accidents in India. Many people don't use their indicators at all, even to indicate for turns, let alone for lane changes. You are supposed to indicate for lane changes on highway, as well as if you want to take a turn, you are supposed to indicate so that your opposite driver and the drivers behind you know that you are doing something. But if you are not doing this, it causes a surprise to the other drivers, and they might not know your intentions properly. Not using indicators is one of the next biggest reasons for accidents on roads in India as well as in the world. The seventh biggest reason for accidents on roads of India is wrong way driving. Taking your vehicle opposite to the direction of the lane you are in, just to save a few meters or a few drops of fuel. You are doing these kinds of reckless things. This is one of the reasons for accidents that are happening. The eighth biggest reason for accidents after this is potholes. Trying to avoid potholes, people forget to look at the road. So they are trying to swirl and avoid a pothole, whereas they don't realize that the driver opposite to them is coming that way and they hit each other. This is also one of the reasons for accidents on roads. And the ninth biggest reason for accidents on the roads of India is racing. Many people are either impromptu racing against other people, that is, they're trying to overtake them, and then they feel that something has hit their ego and they will try to race each other, and in this racing they actually cause accidents. Or it could be organized racing, that is, friends who might think, okay, my car is the fastest, so they try to race it out on public streets. This is also one of the reasons for such accidents happening on the roads. We need to avoid such kind of things. Driving is something that we all have to do with patience, and we have to know that it is a privilege for you to drive on the roads. No one has to reach there 1 second early or is gonna get a big loss for reaching 1 minute earlier than he's supposed to reach. Then why do we have to do such kind of actions and cause all these accidents, becoming a danger for yourself and also all the other people on the streets? Life is important. We have to value our life. We have to value other people's life. You might not have any value for your own life, but at least value the other people's life on the road. Let's hope that these kinds of practices stop on our roads and we can get better and safer roads by the public following all the rules. We also like to point out that the number one reason for deaths in accidents is not using seatbelts. We Indians sometimes act as and we don't like to use our seatbelts at all on cars. We only do it when there is a checking going on or there is some kind of issue wherein you need to show that you're wearing your seatbelt or you will get a fine. We have to stop this attitude. Seatbelt is created for your safety and it is what will save you when you have an accident. Even if your car has airbags, if you don't wear your seat belts and the airbag deploys, it will just deploy in your face and it still doesn't prevent you from flying out of the windshield due to the impact. You do not want a face full of glass and you do not want to die on the street outside your car being crushed. Let us take a note that we will always use seat belts when we are driving our cars, and on bikes also use your helmets. You are not proving you are more masculine or more macho by avoiding seat belts and helmets. These are safety precautions that have to be taken and we have to understand that. Do you have any comments or stories that you would like to share? Please put them in the comments below. If you have any topic requests, put them in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe. This was Jamie for Toppy with you. You have a nice day.